Hello, I will be talking about my projects that I did for this class. So my goal for my final projects was to make 1 minute of animation, and I didn't want to restrict myself in the type of animation, so it could be only GIFs or a movie file or a movie file and some GIFs. So that was my goal. And I ended up deciding to make 4 GIFs, and I ended up with 54 seconds of animation. So I almost met my goal. And I tallied everything up and realized I had 54 seconds of animation and that I was like 15, 16 seconds short of meeting my goal, and rather than make a 16-minute GIF or something, I figured I'd just call it good since Miho said I could just do 30 seconds. So anyways, to talk about the GIFs, the first one I did is the GIF of a dog sitting on a table looking out a window and wagging its tail. That was inspired by my dog, who likes to sit on that exact same table and look out the window, and she wags her tail like that, and I just think it's funny because she looks like a cat. So that was the first one I did, and I think it definitely shows that you can tell that was the first one I did. I still have like this crazy learning curve with the tablet and digital painting. So you know, it's not bad for my first attempt. I think it's pretty good. But like compared to the later ones I did, I think it shows. So the way I animated that is I hand painted each frame, and or no, I didn't. I used the Puppet Warp tool as well as hand painting. So I puppet warped the tail, and I like hand painted some extra little details in there to keep it looking good. And I hand painted the background in the figure, so I had a lot of fun with it. Anyway, so moving on, so after I did that animation, the next one I did is this GIF of my dog. Again, you can tell where I get my inspiration from. Lying on the floor and like kind of wiggling around and sticking her tongue out. So that was sort of a rotoscope style. I took a picture of my dog and painted over the picture, and then I got rid of the picture, and I actually used the Puppet Warp tool on the painting to try and make it look like she was like moving around. And in addition to the Puppet Warp tool, I painted the tongue coming out of her mouth. And I think it worked pretty well. I personally think it looks a little creepy because it's like her body moves in ways it probably shouldn't. But it is pretty cute, and my friend said it looked awesome, so you know, there's that. So this is actually, these two animations were my first time ever using the Puppet Warp tool. I didn't use them for the GIF assignment because I just wanted to hand paint everything because I like to do stuff the hard way, apparently. So I had a little bit of a learning curve, like learning that you have to put anchors to keep other places from moving. So you can see in that GIF, like the shadow moves under the dog. I probably should have painted that into the background, but hindsight's 2020. So after I did that GIF, the next one I did was this running dog GIF. I'd seen examples of this type of animation before on the internet, of like people doing a running animal and just trying to get like one set of its stride in a repeating GIF. And so I'd seen this kind of thing before for like animation practice, and I always wanted to try it, but I never knew how to. So like once I got a little bit of practice remembering how the frames go in the animation in Photoshop with the first two GIFs I made, this was like the one I wanted to tackle. So I didn't use any puppet warping in this. I hand painted every frame. I would paint a frame, set it to 50% opacity, and like mute the frames below it so I couldn't see them, and then just draw on top of that. And then I went out back once I was done, 100% opacity, did some coloring, and yeah, I'm really proud of what I made. It's got some weird stuff going on with the dog's hind legs. I don't know about that, but uh, other than that, I never would have thought I could have made something that looks so cool on my first try. I did a lot of Googling when I was working on this, so that was that was definitely part of the process. I did a lot of research, and then after I did that, I had a lot of fun with it, but mostly what I'd done so far was puppet warping and line drawing, and I wanted to try a painting animation, so I did this GIF of clouds forming in the sky and sort of like drifting away in the wind as they get bigger and break apart. It was sort of more just for fun, but it's actually like one of my favorite things I've made, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much a walkthrough of my final assignment. I had a great time. I learned a lot. I used some new tools, and I just want to keep making GIFs, and I want to get more into animation. Thanks for watching my video. I really love this class.